winning isn't easy. Don't mess with a disability carrier and fail to tell them about work activity. A tale of how one attorney destroyed his case. Now, when a disability insurance carrier puts you on claim or on diary and pays you benefits, they're going to send you monthly, perhaps maybe quarterly, a activity of daily living form that asks questions about your activities, including your work activities. You've got an obligation to tell the truth. I'm sure your mother told you you have an obligation to tell the truth. And as your lawyer, I'm going to tell you, we have to tell the truth. I don't care how ugly the truth is what the truth is. Now, sometimes clients will say to me, but they'll never know. Oh yeah, they'll find out. And I'm going to tell you the story of how a lawyer by the name of Mr. Messing messed up his claim because he thought he could get away with lying. So Mr. Messing was a former partner in a law firm, and he knew the likely consequences of making a misrepresentation. Now, misrepresentations is a fancy way of saying lying, okay? And he made misrepresentations on his work activity forms as part of the activity of daily living form. He claimed in 1998 he was disabled because of depression. He couldn't handle the stress of being a trial lawyer, allegedly. Unum Provident accepted the claim, and they paid benefits until 2018, 10 years. And guess what? They found he was able to work as a lawyer and terminated his benefits. What he never disclosed was between 1999 and 2013, he worked on 13 cases, the kind of cases he said he couldn't work on. And guess what? He was paid. Now, that failure to tell the truth on his activity of daily living form comes back to bites him in a couple places, okay? All Unum had to do, and they will do this, is they did a simple search using Pacer, and they typed in his name, and out spit information about those 13 cases. And guess what? Ultimately, Unum denies his claim and countersues him for restitution of the disability benefits. Now, they claimed that he misrepresented his inability to work, and they wanted their money back. Now, fortunately for him, the judge said, look, Unum hasn't met its burden of proof to show that the misrepresentation induced the payment of his benefits. The judge concluded, at best, had Unum known about this, it could have investigated the claim, and we can only speculate as to what Unum would have done with this information. What you need to understand is that Messing was, I guess, grateful, if you will, that the disability carrier's claim for restitution was denied by the court. But guess what? The court ruled against him and said, you're not entitled to any more disability benefits. Now, this information can be obtained by disability carriers in all sorts of ways. They can look for conflicts in what you're telling your doctor about what you're doing as compared to what you're putting on the activity of daily living forms. And I assure you, they are going to be doing social media sites. I had a case where my client alleged that he had visual issues and had difficulty using a computer. The disability carrier found out he was a gamer. And guess what? They got video of him gaming. What do you think happened? His claim got denied, and ultimately we settled it for a very, very modest sum. Now, in Mr. Messing's case, the consequences, and my client's case, could have been worse. A complaint could have been filed with the Department of Insurance alleging fraud, which potentially could result in civil and criminal prosecution. In Messing's case, he potentially could lose his legal license based on this misrepresentation. Not only are your benefits at risk, your reputation's at risk, your license to practice law or medicine might be at risk. Why take the risk? Tell the truth. Don't give the disability carrier a reason to deny your claim. They're in the business of denying and terminating benefits, so don't hand it to them on a silver platter. Misrepresentations can result in a claim denial, claim determination, a claim for restitution, a referral to the Department of Insurance for fraud, bar complaints, ethics complaints, you name it. You don't need it. Tell the truth. Got it? I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of Winning Isn't Easy. If you've enjoyed this episode, consider liking our page, leaving a review, or sharing it with your friends or family. And please subscribe to this podcast. That way you're going to be notified every time a new episode drops. I hope you tune in next week for another insightful episode of Winning Isn't Easy, and I hope you've enjoyed our hot topics. Thank you.